2026 has honestly been a great year for movies. We've had giant blockbusters, horror that's actually creepy, emotional dramas, and a few movies that completely caught me off guard. And I've seen over 21 movies this year, and today I'm counting down my top 10 favorite movies of 2026. And before anyone starts typing in the comments, yes, I know there's still a few months left in the year. This is just my mid-year listing, so this list will definitely change at the end of the year. So let's get into it. Starting off at number 10 is Toy Story 5. I honestly wasn't expecting another Toy Story movie to win me over after how multiple franchises have been making sequels and it hasn't been exactly the best. But this one kind of reminded me of why I fell in love with these characters in the first place. It's funny, emotional, and somehow still find something new to say after all these years. Definitely a solid start to my list. At number 9 is the drama. Robert Pattinson and Zendaya absolutely killed this movie. This movie isn't trying to blow you away with huge action sequences or crazy visual effects. Instead, it focuses on performances and the relationships, and that's exactly why it worked for me in this movie. It's one of those movies that just sticks with you after the credits roll because how good the performances were. At number 8, I have Jackass Best and Last. Honestly, I grew up watching Jackass, so this movie was basically guaranteed to make me laugh. And this is actually the most recent movie I just watched. But what surprised me was how much heart it actually had to show all the journey from over the years. And it was one of the most hilarious movies I ever watched. It was hilarious from beginning to end and also feels like a perfect send off for the crew. If this really is the last one, they went out on a high note for sure. At number 7 might be the most controversial one, but I have Disclosure Day. I know this movie is pretty divisive, but I actually had a good time with it personally. Was it perfect? Definitely not. But I liked the mystery, the atmosphere, and I thought it did enough differently to keep me invested. It's one of those movies where I completely understand why some people didn't like it. I just happened to be on the other side of the fence, and I think the ending was so well that it pushed it up high in the rankings for me. At number 6, I'm going to show some heavy bias here. Of course, it's my list, but it's The Devil Wears Prada 2. This sequel had way more pressure than most movies this year. The original is a classic and one of my favorite movies of all time, but somehow they managed to bring back these characters without it feeling like a lazy cash grab. It captures a lot of what made the first movie great while still telling its own story in a modern way. Also, who doesn't love Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci? At number 5, I have The Backrooms. If you watch my review, you already know how much I love the atmosphere in Backrooms. This movie absolutely nails the sound design. It's more creepy than outright terrifying, but that exactly what makes it work. There were moments where I just felt uncomfortable in the best way possible, and that's exactly how I would describe the Backrooms. So I think Kane Parsons did an amazing job on this. So that's why I have it at 5. At number 4, I have 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. I feel like since this was released earlier in the year, a lot of people forgot about this, but this is probably one of the most intense movies I've seen all year. The tension almost never lets up. It expands the world in a really interesting way while still delivering some genuinely nerve wracking sequences. It wasn't as gory as some of the first couple of movies, but if you're a horror fan, this one's a must watch. At number 3, I have Michael. I had really high expectations going into Michael, and somehow they were still met. The performances, the music, the emotional moments, it all came together. Whether you're a lifelong Michael Jackson fan or not, I think there's definitely a lot to appreciate here, and that's why I have it at number 3. At number 2, I have Obsession. This was easily one of the biggest surprises of the year for me. I went in expecting a decent movie and ended up walking out thinking about it for days. The story completely pulled me in, and I love seeing some fresh faces absolutely deliver. Michael Johnston and Curry Barker and Indy Navarrete absolutely nailed this movie. This one is one of those movies I recommend every chance that I get, and I'm so glad that it's breaking so many records in the box office. Number 1, Project Hail Mary. My number 1 movie of 2026 so far has to be Project Hail Mary. From the moment it started, I was hooked. The performance from Ryan Gosling in this movie was absolutely fantastic. The visuals were incredible, and the emotional moments with Rocky and Ryan Gosling's character was absolutely perfect. It's funny, exciting, emotional, and honestly, it just everything I want from a sci-fi movie. As of right now, this movie is definitely my movie of the year. So that's my top 10 movies of 2026 so far. I'm sure this list is going to change before the year is over, but these are the movies that have stuck with me the most so far. Now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite movie of 2026 so far? And if there's something amazing I haven't seen yet, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this ranking, leave a like, subscribe for more movie reviews and ranking. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.